what you need is a male XLR. There you go. And already cut this one. 120 ohm resistor. That's it. That's a DMX stopper. That's it. Okay, sorry for the sort of bad vision, I'll say it ahead, but I'm just using my camera phone. The reason why I'm doing this is, as you know, we're all in lockdown and I'm busy fixing some cables. You might see them in the background, sorting on my XLR cables, putting velcros. See, cable, making my cables, nice little velcros. Guys, I know, over, under, over. Nicely, and sorting out my DMX cables because they are different, and I've got a way of marking them. Mine I just sort of mark with some. Went to my wife and said, "What Q-Tex aren't used anymore? Give me any color, doesn't matter." So yellow is cool. So then I know the difference between my DMX cables and my XLR cables. They are marked as well. I do mark them. Where's the camera? There somewhere. But if you grab them quickly, it helps. Probably somebody's noticed yellow. They just tell me the length of my cables. I have this OCD thing going, so I'm making link cables. But while I was doing that, I thought one thing I need to look at is DMX stoppers. You know, many guys, they tend to use all the, how can I say, connectors and a connecting thing up in it, and then sometimes they have one light like flickers a bit of LED, or one light jumps or whatever, or maybe you don't get a good signal at all. It is still advisable, even although the quality has become a bit better, that the last light or object you connect, the output, you connect the DMX stopper. Now, I don't have my oscilloscope here, but you will see with the scope, if you connect cables, there's a lot of noise in that cable too. And your unit has to take the digital signals that's sent from your DMX mixer or DMX system or whatever you use, and it's got to find the bits so that it knows what it must do for that channel above that distortion. And if that background distortion gets higher and higher, it might start having problems knowing what is the signal or just keeping a decent lock. One is, it is actually helpful if you're going to run a lot of cables to get a DMX splitter. Guys, don't just split your cable like they would say a Y cable. You do degrade the signal too in that, and you want to isolate the cable or the signal from your unit. So I use a DMX splitter. Inside every output split, it has an opto isolator as well, so there's an electrical issue or whatever, it doesn't come back in the cable into my unit. Now, so again, Roger running a lot of cables and trying to get 20 lights or so. I rather have my splitter. You can get a 122, 123, 124. We do sell them as well if you need. Hopefully we can supply them once the lockdown is down. Then take the signal in there, and I'll maybe send one line to the back of my stage, one to the left side pole with lights, one to the right side of poles. It also minimizes problems. So if one signal is dead or grouped, I don't have to run through 20, 30, 40 lights to find it. At least that's grouped and I don't lose everything. Maybe if it's like the first or second cable, that's the problem. So as I was saying, a lot of things people don't tend to do is when they finish the last light to put a DMX stopper. That also really helps to complete the loop so the circuit's not open, because it's a digital signal, to help make the signal better or less degrading. So you should, every light you use, if you stop it, put a DMX stopper. It's a good practice, and I'm amazed how many people don't have these things. I keep them on a laptop bag. I've got a bag and I've got like a little I've got two of my Shure bags, and one's got like memory sticks and anything, and the other one I've got like little connectors, I might need whatever, a mini jack converter to a normal jack size for headphones, or XLR turnover, or so on. And things I keep in there is like, I think about 3 or 4 DMX stoppers. So even if I forget, or I do another show where we're already using their lights and there's a bit of problems, I'll quite often I would put a DMX stopper in and voila, problem solved. So now I could say, no, you can go buy them and so on. But you know what? We're home, you're bored. Make your own. They are actually simple. What you need is an male XLR. There you go. And already cut this one. 120 ohm resistor. That's it. That's a DMX stopper. That's it. Can you believe that? Okay. It's a 120 ohm resistor because DMX signals basically run what we call 120 ohm lines. That's why as well if you can rather buy DMX cable, which is designed for like 200 ohm or 120 ohm, excuse me, signals rather than the 600 ohm cables or so we use for microphones. Now yes, I know there's more complicated things in that and capacitance. I'm not going to get into that. We just keep it in the simple sort of way. So I also got these old ones. When else did you see ones that you got to screw open? You know, the newer ones are like this that you just turn off. Don't know why I got this one from with red. I don't like colored things, but I've got these old ones. I think before when I did old cables and threw cables away, I would cut and keep the connectors. So I'm gonna bring this a bit down so you can look at my hands and my really ugly old rusted table. So let's see. There we go. I'm gonna push it out. Now what you do is this resistor, again, in case you want to know if you're not sure about resistors, I prefer to use a half watt resistor. I think you can use quarter watts as well, but I just use half watts resistor. It seems to, I'm sure a 1 watt and so would work as well, but I use 120 ohm resistor. Sorry for the over contrast brightness there. As I said, I'm just using my phone camera and not control. So one goes in pin 2, one in pin 3 on the XLR. Most XLRs show the pins. Pin 3 is always in the middle, and pin 1 and 2, depending on if it's male or female side, would have swapped. So I can see on the right thing, pin 2 is here. Now, if you do this quickly and you don't have a solder arm, I'll give you a little trick I learned. Obviously, one way is to, you know, hold it with a plier or whatever and work and so on. Some people, I'm guilty, would like hold it like this, and then as you slowly touch, it burns you. I know. So just use a female XLR. You just gotta make sure what side is pin 2. It's this side of mine. It holds it. Now, the one thing I hate people do, or some people do, is they'll put the connector on the pin and then put the solder on and connect it. Same with cables. The best way to do it, yes, I have a little solder arm holder and that, but it's in my other store, which is on lockdown. It's first better to tin. Can find my solder. There we go. Yep, my Velcro for making cables. Tin the connectors. I'm glad I bought a new roll before I got into this. So I would put solder in each holes first. I don't need to put in hold 1 in this case because we're not using pin 1. Same if you make XLR cables. Pin 1 is earth. Pin 2 is live. Pin 3 neutral. Here we go. And I put on the little unit. Solder. Nice. Now I will use something because I don't want to burn my hands. Don't squish it too hard and break it now. That's pin 2. I just want to double check. Man, I wish I did have something to hold it. Okay, that will do the job. Let's move around here. Can't really see much. Okay. Soldered. Open 3, that is my bottom. I'm just talking without thinking. That really is it. I don't know if we can see it. Will the phone focus to this? Doesn't want to focus to it, but there we go. Pin 2 and pin 3. That's it. Simple as that. I'll put it back. Make sure it's cool. Just make sure it doesn't touch anything. I think there we can get a good connection. It's still facial recognition, these new phones. Okay. And if you want to know the color of the resistor, just by the way, come on, take over. Nope, it's not going to. It's brown, red, brown. The gold you see maybe there, it's just a 5% tolerance of the value. It's still good enough for DMX. So brown is 1, red is 2, and then its amount of zeros is also brown, which means 1 0. So that gives us 120 ohms. And then summer, it's also maybe good to mark these things, because as you're going to think this is just an XLR with nothing connected to it. But in this case, it is. So I'm going to also mark this with my yellow Q-Tex to know it's a DMX cable. And that's it. I thought that's just a little thing to show you. And the debate on DMX cables, is it really different to microphone and DMX cable? The answer is yes. Yes, I've also used often DMX microphone cables. I'm guilty. In the beginning, that's what I could do. But I've slowly been buying myself DMX cables or a roll. And then I made my cables so that I slowly work out using microphone cables to DMX cables. And it is more stable. I have less problems. I've got less problems I've got to run around to solve sometimes problems. And yeah, that's great. So, there's something to do. Hopefully you've got some 120 ohm resistors lying around and so on. So I'm going to make myself another 8 or 9. So thank you. Till next time.